Daamen, man.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to a new Dive in Life. And I know we're like a minute too early, but I was figuring that the guest I have today, we've been like obviously chatting leading up to this day, and we chat a lot. So brace yourself, because on the other side, I've got Mr. Jordan Peak. Hello, sir.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello, everyone.
We're
and
live.
All the couple of people that might be listening. Yeah, hello, everyone.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man.
It's good to be here. It's good to, like internet-wise, be here. Obviously not physically there, but it's good, man.
We've been chatting a lot this week also, and like lately, I think it was through Timmy P that I sort of like found out that you were back, and I told you this week as well, I've been a massive fan. So I've played all the Tsuba ones, all the area remote, which is in Amsterdam. Obviously, was an Amsterdam label.
Yeah, for sure.
And back in the day, man, you were on all of them. One Records, Rob Soul, like a lot of stuff that I was really into. You were releasing, and that's like 2010, 2013, like that sort of range.
Yeah, not 2010. It was like around 2012 to sort of 2000 and maybe 14, 15. I think I stopped. My little kind of run then.
Yeah.
Just really good times. But I mean, good times never stop.
Yeah, true. Now, well, it's good to have you back, because
Thank you.
it's been quite a ride probably the last few years, and now you're back. It seems like you're just like boom, boom, track. What I see on your Instagram, and
I've been doing it a little while now. So and me and you have had this chat. Like we've anyone that's listening, me and you, like we just rabbit on all the time. Like it's nice. It's yourself, it's nice to speak music, and it's nice to speak music to people, but especially when you meet someone that does the same thing. They make music, they play music, they're a music fan. It's great. It's great to chat.
Yeah.
But again, I've been doing it for a very long time, and you never stop learning. No matter how good you are, no matter how long, you can always learn it. But it's not like I'm starting and I'm kind of super new when I'm learning it. It's muscle memory. It's jumping back in after yourself. You do jiu-jitsu. It's jumping back in. It's like, I already have this skill set. It's okay. This is what I want to do. Bang, and it all seems to be coming out really well.
Yeah. It's nice to hear, because I think the first one was the peak tracks that you did.
No. Yeah, the first one was the one on Timmy P's label.
Oh, the Make You Move.
The Make You Move one.
Yeah. That's also how I found out that you're back. But the peak tracks one, for me, resembles like, oh yeah, he's back. Like you have there's 3 tracks on that release. I love that deep one. I think it was this track with a number or something.
Track 07. Yeah.
Fuck, that's like it's even more techno-ish kind of with this. This step techno.
It's basically, it's like you just saying like dub techno. It's kind of peak time. It's like
I see what you did there.
Don't. I get so many people like, so what's your real name? It's not Peak. I went, yeah, it is Peak. Honestly, it's Jordan Peak. And then I show my driver's license. And I went, really? I went, yeah.
That's so cool.
It's not real name. It's not real name.
Jordan Peak.
But it's dub techno, but like quite driving.
Yeah.
And then the third one was like an electro one, because like we've chatted this before. Like there's so much stuff I like to make and play as well. And like some of my favorite DJs, like you might not be able to think it and stuff from what I make and what I'm into and that, but people like Ricardo Villalobos, like Craig Richards, these guys like Nicholas Lutz and they've all got incredible record collections, and when they get the chance, they'll take you on journeys and stuff. And I mean, it's hard to kind of do that all the time, and like I say, if the crowd's not there for it. But yeah, I just thought I'll give it a go.
Yeah, well, it does resemble what you did back in the day as well. Sometimes it was more like housey, sometimes more garagey, sometimes a bit more minimally. You've been on so many different labels, like the Morris. I think it was Morris Audio used to be a big fan. Was a bit more slower, a bit less housey, more like on the more minimalistic kind of thing. So it's nice to see you do all these different sounds, and therefore I'm super happy you're on here, and that we're gonna chat production, and it's gonna be really funny, because also knowing that you work on an old version of Ableton, it's gonna be so much fun.
They'll be like, "What's this? This isn't Ableton."
What's this? Or old school like looks like a gambling machine. We got Coulter online as well. Hello, Coulter. Low House online, super nice. They got
La
lots.
La House.
Low house, not loud house,
Oh,
not the Dutch,
oh,
not
yeah,
Laurens. No,
yeah.
no.
Because he did stuff on Area Remote as
Remote as well.
well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, it's the Amsterdam crew back in the day. Yeah, no.
Yeah, is it like it's Planet Gong? I think is it the family? Because
Yeah,
it was like because 2001 it's Dylan, isn't it? That
yeah.
like,
He was
dude,
running those labels. Yeah.
his stuff. Like, there's a lot I've been going back to. Like, but I think a lot of it is timeless, and to me, that's kind of like what I love to make is stuff that sounds good like now, but in 10 years' time, it's still good, and people are still going to play it,
Yeah,
or
what
like
was
even
this
20 years'
track
time.
of? There was this one track of his, like I can't remember what it was, but it had like a really good hook. It was one of those that I would still
All of
play.
them, like they're all really
Yeah,
good.
I have I have this
There's
tech house folder, like the old tech house stuff,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and there's some of them, the Oslo releases and the
Oh,
remote
Oslo,
area. There's
yeah,
a few of them that I have, like Ray Okpara and all this sort of stuff that
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
really liked. Yeah, yeah, I've got like an old school tech house
So
folder for this. Yeah,
there's quite a few from 2001 actually that like that will never leave my record bag.
yeah,
But one of them is Spanish Fly. Like it's
yeah.
kind of
I remember that
oh,
one.
it's just
Yeah.
so good. Bam, bam. Oh, it's just wicked.
Yeah,
Don't get me doing.
I was thinking of the other one. He did together.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it so
can't
much.
remember.
It's such a good
I
track.
have to look it up. Maybe in the break or when we play some music, I'll look it up. Yeah, it's nice. I've got Dublin in the house, then Tiago. Yeah, many people watching. Yeah, I'm also really curious to see how Jordan makes his tracks. Let's immediately get
Lots
into.
of. Sorry, go.
Let's immediately play some music for the people that don't know Jordan Peak. Maybe I should have included like a very old one, but it's nice to have the new stuff as well. So
Yeah,
which one
sure.
shall we do first? Shall we do the first one, which made you come back on Timmy P's label, which is nice.
Actually, before we do all that, like, because we got to work this out, because you know this myself, it's like the first time I've used this and stuff. I'm not great with it.
Oh yeah, when they
So,
share
is it
do the
this
share
here?
screen
Is
thing. Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
right? Is that all good?
This is good. It looks good. There it is. We got
Oh,
Ableton
right.
9 probably.
Hang on. Zoom. We had
Hey,
this problem the other day.
what do you mean?
Uh,
Oh, you can't hear me.
hello?
Oh yeah, no, you have to go to Zoom. Uh-oh. Yeah, you have to change your Zoom settings. Uh-oh. Let me go.
Hello?
Here, wait, I'll send them an app, guys.
Not again. Hello?
Jordan.
Oh, here we go. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I was
Yeah,
just
cool,
about
cool,
to
cool.
send you WhatsApp again. Okay,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Zoom.
So guys, so sorry. Like people watching,
No worries.
the amount of technical difficulties, even just trying to speak and say it is probably going to be like a few. But yeah, I said to you about templates because I've been I never really collaborated with people that
Yeah,
much before,
yeah,
but I actually really want to do it because again, when I do a collaboration with someone, I don't. I mean, I make a lot of kind of stuff and like whatever, but I try and do. I don't want it to be just like think just the same old. If I
yeah,
was going to collaborate with someone, well, let's try something a bit different or like something that people might not expect. Um, and you know yourself if how you think in your head, like you think, oh, probably everyone else thinks the same way. And it's only when I've gone to other people's setups and seen how they work, and I'm like, oh, what you literally start afresh with nothing in there. Like, and there's a lot of people, and I'm like, why don't you have everything ready to go? Like, why? Because again, you're gonna do the same stuff. So even before I load the project, you like this is my template that I have set up.
mm,
So like I mean, there's a lot of tracks there, but none of them, not all of them, gets used every time. Uh, but all the stuff I use all the time. So all the plugins that I realized that I use constantly, like things like again this EQ, this compressor, this other EQ.
I love this EQ.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, Waves. I'm sorry, like, but again, I've listened through other ones, and I'm like, I can't really hear the difference in much. Like I've
Yeah,
A/B'd and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I guess there's a little bit nicer.
yeah,
Um, but it's just the fact I use them all the time, and they're
yeah.
there. And then this I use loads. It's just a bit crusher. But if you want that raw, quote unquote raw, and like old school sound, a good bit crusher. Because you know yourself in the all the music that was made back then, so like your DJ Sneaks, your Todd Terrys, your even like going into 90s hip hop, Wu-Tang Clan, or anyone basically, all those guys, they were all made on MPCs and SP1200s.
Yeah.
And the thing about like the SP1200 MPCs is like it downgraded the quality. So it's
Yeah.
like 12-bit samplers. So
Yeah.
this is great because you can dial in as much as you want. Like I could run it through and show you stuff, and it has all these emulations of like if you go vintage sampler, like you've got a SP, I think there's SP
Yeah.
twelve
Yeah.
hundred
There it
there
is. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
and MP60. But again,
Yeah.
the cool thing is, like I say, you can parallel process it, so
Yeah.
you can
Dry
go as
wet.
much as you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't know.
I
Yeah,
use the
it's just
Reduptor. The Reduptor from D16 Group. Sort of similar
yeah.
one. I really like Reduptor as well. D16 Group was great. Like you make it a little bit lo-fi kind of stuff. I really like
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the sound that you're after. If you want it to sound your stuff to sound super clean and clinical, then that you know what you want to get to. But if you're like, oh well, I want this to have a bit of grit, or I want this, like it doesn't have to be the whole track.
Yeah.
It could be like one element and stuff, or maybe even
Mm.
for a section. But
Yeah.
it's knowing how to get there. And yeah, I just use that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got this plug in, and like I said, copy C, down in, copy V, and then it's there all the time.
Oh,
Like
nice.
I'm sure Ableton, but again, I'm still on Ableton 8 because I know it like the back of my hand. It's
Yeah,
like,
8
it
even.
works.
Yeah, like in 11 you have your collections and you can save your favorite
Yeah,
third parties on the left side in your collection. So
yeah.
we might have to do a session, Jordan, where I show
That's all
you
right. I
everything.
bet everyone's like, well, what's this guy going on about? Why doesn't he just update? So I was just like,
You know, it
I was
works.
just
If it works, it works.
yeah, it works for me. Like, do you know what I mean? I've had it for years, and like I say, it's knowing what you've got, and it's all there. Low end, which is where I send my kick and bass to, like it's just all set up ready to go. So
So you have
once
your kick,
I'm like,
separate from your from the rest of your drums for processing. You
generally, yeah. But you'll know yourself because that remix I've sent you. My phase, I tend to work in phases. Is that like there's the writing process, which is obviously coming up with the idea, like coming up with the sounds itself. So like your drums, well, the actual elements of the track, and then the arrangement. And then once I've done the arrangement, I'll bounce it, listen to it, and I label it as test. And then I won't mix. I'll do maybe a little bit of mixing, a little bit, but not too much.
yeah.
But I'll do a first draft arrangement and then listen to it and then have a few listens and think, have a break and stuff and come back and have a listen to it and think, does that need a change? Does this bit here? Should I extend that? Does it need any elements? And like once I'm kind of happy with that test, then I'll mix down properly at the end. So I
Mm.
always do that last because
Yeah.
yourself, like
Likewise. Yeah.
each part is a skill. Like production is a skill, mixing is a skill. But it's better to have good, like amazing ideas, like
Yeah.
amazing cool ideas that don't necessarily sound great sonically,
Yeah. Yeah. The
rather
idea.
than like
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's like whether it's hooks and stuff, because you can always take that to someone that's amazing at mixing, but yeah.
If
So
the track shit, then it doesn't matter. I always say, what is it with Timmy P? I said like I know good tracks that were mixed. There's no good tracks that were mixed so bad that it became bad tracks, but there are a lot of bad tracks that they don't become good tracks if they're mixed well. So
yeah,
if you focus on the idea first, that's most important, because a bad track or a good track that's mixed badly will still be a good track. I've heard a lot of
yeah,
bad tracks or badly
yeah.
mixed tracks which are actually amazing tunes, and I'll still play them. Fuck it, it's a great track. So I think there's a lot to say to have the idea first and get your hooks and get your, it's like jiu-jitsu, get your hooks in first.
Everyone's like, oh, these two martial arts guys, yeah, get your hooks in,
Yeah.
But no, it's true, man. Because like again, like we've had this chat as well, and it's like I said, like what the song is. House is a feeling. It's not. House is a combination of frequencies with melodies and synthesis. It's a feeling. And when they say a feeling, it's the ideas, it's the melodies, it's the drums, it's the actual music, it's the
Yeah.
song.
Yeah,
It's not the sonics, it's the song.
Exactly. I really
And
like that when you said that this week. Like a house is not like
but it's
a dip
true.
on
And then
450
and
hertz.
again, what's the other one? Is like not everyone understands house music.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual thing, not
Yeah.
it's a synthesized drum beat from a Roland 909 with an 808 and
Yeah.
like a Roland SH101.
Yeah.
It's the song. And like you say, there's so many ways to get there. There's so
Yeah.
many good ways to get there.
Yeah.
It just depends on the song that you want to make. and like what you have your idea in your head,
Yeah,
which you might not
definitely.
even know when you start, like but it's all good. But yeah, anyway, so I've got like two kick drums. So actually, when I ever turn it on, bread and butter.
Oh wait,
Like,
wait, wait. We don't hear it. You probably have
you're
to.
not hearing?
Yeah, set your output audio output device on Ableton. You gotta set that to Zoom audio device. So
Ah,
if you
okay,
go to
cool.
preferences, then you probably have to.
We'll see.
And then let's see if that works. Oh, and if that doesn't work now, otherwise
Oh, that's why I've got to do this. Yeah.
you have to share. You have to also share the audio on Zoom. If you do share sound, share screen, then yeah.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me? No. Oh fuck. Okay, wait. Wait. You gotta share again, and don't forget the share sound option. Share again, and don't forget share sound option. Sorry guys, this is all live. This is what you get with live TV.
Hello. 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 Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
How did I do it last time?
Hey mate, you gotta share
Is
sound also. If you do share screen, you gotta do share sound as well.
hang on. I'm trying to. You can tell this is the first time I use this. Share screen. Um,
Can you hear me again?
I can hear you
Yeah.
fine, but can you hear?
Okay. No,
Can
you
you
have
hear
to
the?
you have to click on that share sound. So when you share your screen, remember there's like a little button on the bottom left corner that you have to share your sound, right? So I'm gonna cancel your stop sharing. Or cancel your sharing. You
Right.
click on share screen, you get a pop up, and in the bottom left corner there's share sound, and you can make it stereo high
Right.
fidelity, right? Don't forget that.
So which one's this? Like, what do I do now?
No, you before you share it, right? So wait with clicking, right? Wait with
Okay.
clicking. You do share screen, you get a
Right.
pop up. Bottom left
Yeah.
corner, there's share sound. Make
Oh,
sure.
right. I only saw this one on the right hand side. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry.
Right.
You're not the only one. I can tell you, lots of my students have the same
Oh, thank
thing.
God for
So
that.
this
Yeah.
is not. Don't think you're weird.
Oh no, I know I'm weird.
Yeah,
I know I'm weird. I'm just
yeah.
like,
We're all a bit weird. Hey, Davina Burke. Nice, you're tuning in.
hi, hello everyone.
Hello.
Um,
Okay, share again. So share screen and then share
I
sound.
apologize to everyone watching this. It must
No,
be like
no
so
worries.
frustrating.
No worries. Oh, oh. Can't connect to iCloud also. Computer will
I
explode.
need to. I'm so bad, but you'll get it all the time. Like, but just like, oh, just let it go on in the background. But
Okay, and now, yeah,
is that
there we go. We got the
is that
sound.
yeah? That's a
Yeah.
party started.
Yeah.
Look, ready? Look.
Yeah, we got it.
I was joking with everyone recently. Is like, just look, take the kick out, put the kick in, back
That's
in,
it.
done.
Yeah, or just a low cut, you
Pay
know.
me. Pay me, promoter. That's it. Just that for 5 hours. Done. Um, but yeah, like I say, I've got the most basic essentials. Like we had this chat the other day. If you're going to make a sandwich, you're going to have bread, you're going to have your filling. If you're going to make a house or techno track, kick, hi-hat, and a clap. If you're doing techno and you're doing like modern techno where it's like with the techno rumble kick that they use a lot, there's not so much clap, so it's just whereas
Mhm.
if it's house, it's normally so yeah. And you know yourself, like I'm not sure how, but just hot swap him. So when I want to go million and one samples, million and one samples, been using this one a lot recently. Mad Villa, his stuff's wicked. Like I love his sounds amazingly. Um, Kicks, hot swap, change the character of the track. There we go, that'll do. Cool, right, that's your basic pattern.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got them, and then I might decide. But again, I've also got my 808, my 808 emulation.
Nephethon. I always wondered how you pronounce it. Nephethon? Nephethon?
Neferton, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
We need to ask D16.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're listening,
Yeah,
sponsor both of us.
yeah.
We'll plug the shit out of you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just give us some products.
Yeah,
for
we
free.
want all your plugins, and please also include a little sticker how to pronounce it, because Phocion or Phocion or for whatever the acid thing is they have is also
Oh, it's the 303.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then like my 999. But like I said, like that depends if I want to kind of, if I, you know yourself, like when you manipulate a sample or when you manipulate a like something synthesis, you get a slightly different sound.
Yeah.
And if I want to do like a ride, like you said, you like the ride. If I want to do a ride tune going up, or even like a snare like going up, then I'll use these.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
But sometimes it's just like if it's just a straight 909 snare or straight whatever snare, I'm just like, well, I've got a million one samples from years and years and years of collecting, so I'll just find that and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just there. It's just
Yeah,
good
and
to
house
go.
is
Like I
mostly a
said,
sample game, right? Mostly, so it's nice to just use good samples, get you
yeah,
halfway there. I think
yeah,
like Coulter, he's watching as well, said the same thing. Like just good samples will get you to already a good sound, you know. So
yeah.
it's people can throw on all kinds of stuff.
What's when you break it down at the end of the day? That's going to sound funny, like yeah, that's so basic, but what's what is synthesis and what is a sample? They're both sounds. If you're getting the sound that you want out of the speakers, that's all that matters in the end.
Yeah,
And you know yourself is like I'm a huge hip hop fan, which you can probably tell because the amount of sorry, do pardon me. The amount of hip hop like rap samples I put in my stuff, you'd be like, I bet this
hmm
guy likes his hip hop.
yeah,
But you know, the whole thing of them is like taking breaks and taking drums from stuff.
yeah,
And say, for instance, like, oh, Kerry Chandler, I love this track with his kick drum.
yeah,
Well, then just take that Kerry Chandler kick drum.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
you're not going to get sued for taking a kick drum.
No, no,
Like, do you know what I mean?
no.
Or like,
Probably he took the
there's
kick drum from something
actually
else.
maybe we will. I'm so sorry, Kerry Chandler.
Sorry, Kennedy. No,
Don't come and sue me.
he probably put his kick drum through a tape, a reel-to-reel tape,
Yeah.
and
Oh no,
resampled it.
his kicks though, like
Insane.
I know like
Yeah.
house is like kind of generally like that and techno's more aggressive, but Kerry Chandler kick drums, they're like harder hitting than Mike Tyson. They're insane. It's just
Yeah, it's just the music also like the amount of
yeah.
musicianship that's in this man is beautiful. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, he's incredible. He's like absolute legend, absolute like that word gets thrown around a lot, but yeah, it's reserved for people like him. But yeah, so again, you know yourself, Ableton, it's amazing to drag and drop. So whether it's a sample or whatever, I've got audio.
So you got all the yeah,
I
yeah.
do a lot of resampling now. And so, and like I say, I've got, so for instance, before we get into anything, I'll give you an example. So I've got just basic standard here. It's just like a C3. It's just so when I turn it on, oh yeah, I always leave them here. The ones I use all the time. So like Silent, Operator. This is actually a really good
Sunrise.
emulation and it's free as well, I think.
Sunrise.
Of a what's it called? The JP8080. I think it
Ah,
was like
yeah, dude, it's the old
the
school
trance
Roland.
synth
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like
Isn't it
if you're into trance, you basically
yeah,
have to have
88,
this
the
synth because
JV
it's
8080. Yeah. Fuck,
yeah,
that's a
because
long
it's
time
like
ago.
it's like well,
Yeah,
if you like
yeah,
trance, this is the
yeah,
one because I
yeah.
think this was the first Super Saw.
Wow.
And but it's really good. Like it's really cool. Like some of the stuff you get out of it, and
Yeah,
it's I don't know, it's just really good. I really
cool.
like it. I've been playing with that a lot recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have them all turned off. So it's like again, it's like, and you can tell I've been doing some kind of trancey bits. Look, there's a
With the
trigger gate there.
gate,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
I also
you can
don't
tell
know
that's the
this one. It's a
trancey.
nice. Is that also a free one, the trigger gate, or is that like
I
a
think so. I think it is. But
A1 audio?
it's just
Never
cool for
seen
gated
it.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's certain techniques that I've always wondered about and always learned. And it's only like the last year or two
Yeah.
I've actually realised what they are and how to get there and everything. One is getting a good gator, and I found
Yeah.
this. And I mean not all the time, but I've been using it a lot, and it's just really easy. Like to
Yeah.
kind of you go through the
Steps
presets
you
and
can
then you
do.
find what, then you fine tune it, and
Yeah.
you can do the classic of okay, there's nothing, and then it
Yeah.
chops up and it builds.
Yeah.
We should probably play some music through so people can hear what I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
rather than.
Yeah. True.
Uh, but I show you what I mean by resampling. And
Yeah.
oh yeah, a good tip for anyone, and I guess this comes with just time doing it, is learn your shortcuts, especially learn the ones that you're going to use all the time.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
copy, paste, delete is the most obvious, but
Yeah.
to create a new track, Apple T, and that's a straight audio track.
Yeah.
So for instance, if oh that's a hit there. But if I turn, if again you get the oh this is gonna sound horrible, isn't it? Turn it down. But again, that's just super basic. Already turn the D tune up. Already is a bit techno-y. But anyway, solo this. Soft string.
Ah, a bit
That's
more
nicer.
relaxing.
Yeah. Let me find something I'm on about. Harp. I never like I try to get as dry as possible. But I mean that's quite cool itself. But
Yeah.
how I'll work it a lot is I resample loads and then use Ableton's warping to get stuff because you can
Yeah.
get especially once you have more of a track fleshed out, it's easier to kind of show. But
Yeah.
to create cool little variations
Yeah. Yeah.
and little fills and even like effects from it is like it's so easy to do in audio.
Yeah, resampling is a great technique for
So
this.
where's
Yeah.
that from? So that's
You're gonna love
49.
Ableton 11 with the slice to new MIDI track and the convert melody
Dude,
to MIDI.
maybe, but I'm like, until I kind of really need to, I'm like, it works for me.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
just sneaky trying to throw these
so
things.
that's resampling. Cool. Right, that's done. Bang, bang, turn that up. So now I've got that.
It's a cool sound. Also.
Sorry, guys. And also when you want to do your kind of like little chops and stuff. So like that, just that bit's cool. Right, cool. That'll do. And then like here, I can now find this bit, texture, maybe change that. There you go. Done.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
kick drum. Oh, hang on.
Oh.
There you go.
There you go.
Ready?
Hey.
Ready? There you go, done, bang,
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah, you can reverse a little hit, like whoop, then it's
But yeah, like I said, like
yeah.
so, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, so how
Yeah.
you want to get your variations. So,
Yeah.
I mean, once you've done it for a long time, you kind of
Yeah, yeah. You have these.
it's what
I call
you-
this pattern
yeah,
variations. I have a like a session with my students, and it's like, okay, guys, pattern variations. You can do it with your claps, make little fills. You can do it with your synths, make little variations of
You
the
can
other pattern,
do-
you know, and use
you
these.
can do
Yeah,
you can do it with anything.
yeah,
And if like going back to, I know what we're doing is electronic music, but it's still music. It's still like just well, all we're doing is rather than having a drummer sitting there like Phil Collins in it, or like a bass player like like that, we're doing it with a 303, or we're doing it with a Juno 106, or we're doing it with an 808 or a 909.
yeah,
So you've still got to apply what you'd hear in traditional like pop or rock
yeah,
to your electronic stuff.
yeah.
And if you listen to like a classic drummer at the bar, so it's your fills rather than
I literally say the same to my students. Like, I've never seen a drummer go like
all the time.
the whole song. He would be fucking bored to death.
Yeah.
Without the
Not just that, but the listeners would be bored to death as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing, but it's those little extra details, and it's those little like. Obviously, you need the core groove, and if it's house and techno, it's four to the floor, so it's
yeah.
But towards the end of the bar, the little fills, and it's learning how to do that. So, but yeah, I love resampling. I love it because you can get super weird and glitchy with stuff as well. So even like that's pitched right up. And it's so quick and easy to like turn it into Aphex Twin. Like, it's so easy, like just finding bits here. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
as a film,
do something crazy. Yeah, it's nice.
like
Actually, you're really good at
it's so
sampling.
quick
Yeah?
and easy
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, it's nice to think about this like
Here,
this.
bang, bang, reverse that. Do you know what I mean? And that's like say that was a fill.
That's a really it's nice. I should do more of this stuff, you know.
but do you know what I mean? Like
It's
say
fun
for instance,
also.
so now where we've got it, so this is the groove here. So already I've created a fill there. So let's go back. So for instance, I mean, that is a terrible pattern. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst, but this is just for demonstration purpose. Like, you know, if I wanted to, I'd work on it more and whatever. But...
It's nice, man.
So right here, okay, so what I'll do, copy, move that out of the way. Let's use this here. Let's put a fill there. Do you know what I mean?
Just to get that variation, you know,
something something is. Yeah. But again, you can glitch stuff so quickly and easily. And if you really want to go in depth, you can. Like, do you know what I mean? But
and you do use like the warping, different warping.
Because
modes,
if
right?
you want to, however you want to warp stuff, I use it all the time. Also, what's interesting again is I've got a transient designer I use a lot on stuff. Put it into beats, transient there. You'll hear now. Changes it like that.
Yeah, it's actually like a decay kind of thing.
That's no different to decay controlling and stuff. Say for it just depends on the sound you want. But you know, a classic kind of like techno staple or house staple, it just depends what you're going for, is having a synth play one and then opening the decay for automation, or opening the two most classic is opening the decay and also doing the filter cut off from low to high.
Yeah.
So it builds, and then it drops and then it back down to like
Yeah.
I mean, they've been done enough, but they work, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's just reverse that. Super simple. I'm stopping it because I can hear it in my head. Like,
nice.
So even I can hear, like, in my head, I'm already kind of like, what can I do with this and where can I take it, and like pre-programming it and stuff, and what can I hear. So even just like like, I mean, that's super weird.
Yeah, but there could be a little like that it does something fucking freaky at some point. It's also nice sometimes. That's what I also like about some of your tracks. And also, I think there's this new one with the bass. I Just Want Bass or something. Also does some freaky shit. And
mate, I love that one. I can't wait. Yeah, I've finished it. I've done 2 versions of it. Again, it's something like, I'm finishing stuff super quick, but it's a hook I've wrote as well. And you could probably, like, when you hear it, like, yeah, that's Jordan. It sounds just like something he'd write. But there's 2 versions. There's one I need to I need to mix. No, I've done both of them. There's one that's just kind of more tech house standard, and then there's one I was like, I'm going to do another version because I know that's a vocal that I could do a lot with, and I could see people singing it and that. But I was playing around. I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of like Paul Woolford and like Bodica and that stuff.
Yeah,
and
old school. Oh, that used to be like electro. It was called electro, no?
Back in the day, no, I really like it. I really like that sound.
But that's what I like. That's what I mean with these 4 wow. This crazy stuff. I really have to think of Paul Woolford then as well. Like all the you get like a little phase in the track where it just goes
how's
crazy.
It go? Sorry.
Yeah. You know, but something like this, something that's out of the box, right? That is not like your average, like, predictable stuff. And I think it starts there. And that's, I think, nice when the music does something you don't expect and somebody really took the time to create something weird, you know. Sure. I think that's good.
To me though, like, I know it sounds funny, but to me that is in the box. That's not out the box. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know but it's because I listen to a lot of stuff, and I've always kind of like Paul Woolford. I think he's so talented, like so good, and his special request stuff as well is amazing.
Yeah.
And Bodica as well. Like, some of his stuff is incredible. Like, there's one that I'll never stop playing, which is called Steam. Oh, you need to check it out. It's so good. It's so funny because I played with the Jules at Rex Club. Like,
man! Wow.
Years ago.
You were also on Bass Culture. I forgot that, man.
Yeah, Bass Culture as well.
Yeah.
But he played about 3 or 4 records that I wanted to play as well. And one of them was a Bodica one. I was like, I didn't even think he'd play this. But like, great. You know, so I'm like, I had this ready.
Took that right away.
And loads on Discogs for it as well.
Yeah. Wow, Somebody actually, one of my friends here in Valencia, he posted a set of Jules the other day. And I was like, I love Jules. And then
it's wicked.
She said she saw him play last weekend. Yeah.
So even now, like, I like that don't like that bit, but
But this is a nice way to start, actually. Also, like just get like something, sample it, and then play around with the
I do
samples.
it all the time. I do it all the time just because I like. I tend to try. I try and work in. I don't know. I just seem to work in audio and stuff, and because you can actually. A lot of people ask me bass lines. A lot of the time, it is actually just pitched up and pitched down, and then like really processed, like
Yeah,
this way,
yeah.
because you can move. Say for instance, like if you're using an arpeggiator or you're playing it in, your timing can't be quite right. But I'll show you how I warp stuff as well, because
Mhm.
I really like that. But don't know if I'm getting there with what I want. Oh, that's why it's in beats. Texture, bang. That sounds really weird. Sounds horrible. But anyway, forget
But
about that.
but yeah, you can take it
But
anywhere basically. Hey, and
yeah,
what
yeah.
other synths do you use? So do you use the Massive and the M1? Because on the Santé track, I heard like a little bit
The
of
Sunset
organ.
remix,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That.
There's to be honest with you, most of it is what I've been using a lot recently is either sample shots of stuff, or silent. The M1 is just if you do house music, you're gonna have used it at some point, whether
Yeah.
it's for the organ or whether it's for the strings, you're gonna have used it. Massive sometimes. I mean, I've got all these here, but I could take Debra out. I don't really use that. Operator, I use loads.
Yeah.
And it's only like the last couple of years I actually realized like a lot of like so you'll hear it the first time I've actually used it was on a remix I did for Express 2 like
Mm.
years ago. It was a
Oh
Smoke
yeah,
Machine
seen that on your
remix.
SoundCloud. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I've always loved like Dan Bell, and I just ripped off Dan Bell for that remix. Like I've always I've always loved the sounds he did from like DBX Livewire, and I was like, how'd you get there? What is it? And then I was watching a video on is it Selway or it's one of them from
Oh
Smith and
yeah,
Selway.
yeah, yeah,
One of I
yeah,
think it's John Selway he was doing,
yeah,
and he was explaining FM synthesis, and I was like, he said, "Oh, this is like a lot of the old Green Velvet records." Like, that's the sound. That's the sound I've been looking for. Like, oh, so that's why you do it. That's how
yeah,
you get there.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's
FM
FM
synthesis. Yeah,
synthesis
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
glides and things. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it. So I use operator loads.
Yeah, it's a
I
great synth, man.
use
People
it's just
underestimate the power.
it's just FM.
Yeah,
It's just free
yeah,
FM, and because
yeah.
it's Ableton native,
It's so easy to
it's
use.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's able to.
operator.
But it's
Yeah,
also not as
yeah,
CPU heavy
yeah,
if you're using native stuff.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Um, I haven't done too much acid stuff, but actually I've been listening to Adonis, No Way Back recently. I'm like, oh, I want to do another acid track. I haven't done acid for a while.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
But so I got
ABL2.
this rave
Yeah,
generator is pretty
yeah. It's
cool. It's
classic.
got
Yeah,
every rave sample you've
yeah.
ever
It's
heard
really
like, in a
nice unit.
record.
Yeah, I should install it again. I think I don't have it on my
It's
new.
good, man. Like,
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, yeah. I also have
but
the Roland. You would like the Roland Cloud stuff as well, man. Like the Roland
yeah, but
Cloud.
the thing is with their own cloud, I need to update my operating system. I'm
Oh
still on
yeah,
such an
yeah,
old
yeah,
one that I can't.
yeah,
I'm so behind on stuff. It's so
yeah,
funny, but
yeah, yeah. It's always
I
scary to upgrade, and you're like, oh, I have to reinstall everything. You know,
yeah, the only
it's a
reason why
leap.
is because
Yeah,
I did it once before, and then I lost so much stuff, and it was like things weren't working, and so I'm like,
yeah,
you know, it just messed my computer up a lot as
yeah.
well, and I'm like, oh, I'm only ever going to actually update if I really, really, really need to,
Yeah, yeah.
and I haven't.
I always just do a collect on save on all my projects and just hope for the best when I reinstall my computer. You know, it's always scary though. But this synth is
Yeah.
really really nice. You don't need the Roland Cloud. You got the Rave generator.
Well, these are all like the samples,
Yeah,
like aren't
yeah,
they? Like
yeah.
that's really good. I don't use it that much to be honest with you, but
Nice.
yeah, I did.
Is there also like a
I created a actually I think it was in the moment the one that's come out recently. I think it's the landlord stab, and I just don't need that many. But I created a you know yourself in house music you have the high string like the
yeah yeah
that
yeah yeah
creates suspense in the
yeah
breakdown.
yeah
Um, there's that amazing acid riff that we did,
yeah
Higher State of Consciousness 2.0.
yeah yeah
But
exactly. Josh
not
Wink, eat
quite.
your heart out.
Yeah, not quite. Josh Wank more than Josh Wink. Like, terrible. But yeah, so yeah, if you've ever
It's a
listened to a
nice
dance
step.
record,
It's a
you've probably
nice
heard that
step.
sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just creating pads out of things like that's great to create a pad out of. Just drowning it in reverb. But again, if you resample, so what is it? We're on 59, so it wants to be 58. Why is it not showing up? Where is it? Oh, there we go. Bang. Record. Cool. Yep. Need to move you out of the way, sir. There we go. I did exactly this on the last one to create a pad out of it. Because I try and use old sounds a lot because I just like them. I just think they're really nice. But again, it's like what can you do differently with them? So drown it in reverb. Another channel. Re-record that 59. Come on, computer, don't die on me. Whoa, getting super loud now. I use reverse reverbs a lot as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, again, it's just a staple of like pop music and stuff, and it works. Going into a vocal, going into something, it's been done, but it works. Do you know what I mean? And they're there for a reason. Something as well, which is really cool. Well, maybe not really cool, but I like is I will get ready. Freeze. And freeze keeps it that level forever.
Yeah.
Take the freeze off. Cool. Bang, bang. Here. Reverse. Right, so we just want that part into that amazing Josh Wank 2. Well, I'm Josh Wank. He's Josh Wank. He's the master.
Yeah.
But so we've got. Yeah. Need to turn it on. See what I mean? Classic, like builds up that way.
Yeah. It's
fades.
Nice.
You can do like quick fades. It's easy. So it's gonna fade in. So So we've made that nice. We've made this pad
from the stab.
And you get that cool whip.
It's like a nice swell. Yeah, I love to resample like this and reverse shit. You can do this with vocals, with
anything.
Stabs.
You can literally do it with anything. It's just when you do audio, you can manipulate it in a lot of different ways than you could when it's MIDI or when it's like that. It's when I kind of like looked at bands and things and kind of like took a step back, like rather than being like, so I took a step back and think, well, how do like the White Stripes and like Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like they work if they're not using synths and that? Because they all seem to use Pro Tools because I think because of how that world works and stuff. And they're not like, they haven't got MIDI data, they're recording. So it's all recorded to audio.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, well, if I was like that, how would I work that way? And I'm like, yeah, if you resample stuff a lot. And I just started doing it loads. And like I said, then this way, it's really easy to get. Say I want to take the fades off this.
Is this also the reason why you have so many audio channels that you just like
you just jam
something, record it, resample?
I use audio lots because I can just drag stuff in all the time and it's in there.
Yeah.
But like say for instance here, that's going to build up. That's going to go down, and then we can fade back out here. Here you're going to edit it so it doesn't quite get. What I do as well, like this is what I want to say actually about warping, is I turn the grid off a lot. I've only started doing this recently, well, the last year or so. But I've noticed if I like move it here, it's like when they used to use the old MPCs, they'd like to do truncate stuff.
Yeah. Truncate.
You turn the grid off, it's so easy to find where you want.
Yeah.
Turn that grid off, right click, move it to say like there. There's still like a bit there, but do you know what I mean? It's just a case of fine tuning and fiddling
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
But now you can hear that seamless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
Nice.
again, another classic. Okay, go down. Let's say just I've turned the grid back on now. It's just a case of off and on, and that way you can truncate rather than because
Yeah.
when you a lot. I was with someone recently, and they were saying, "Oh, I don't like the stuff now because everything's to grid. Everything's to grid here. Like if I want to move it here, it's to here." And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't. You can zoom in super good, but just turning that off,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's so easy to find that way
Mhm.
where you want.
Yeah.
And then you just turn it back on again. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's like a little way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think you can also hold command to drag the clip between the grid and the things. Holding command.
and then it fades out again. Like I say, and then I'll turn that off.
Hey, and maybe we've been at it for an hour. Maybe it's nice to play a little bit of music.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah, right. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Ghost Groove.
Yeah, we can. Shall we play? Shall we first play the track? Have a little break. I need to go to the toilet.
Guys,
so.
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to like help anyone out and like anyone. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
But,
no worries, no worries. Shall we play a little track in between and be back in 3 minutes? I go to
Sure.
the toilet and we'll be right back. Listen,
I'll open this. Cool.
let's. Yeah, you're gonna do
save
Ghost
show.
Groove, then I'll play Ghost Groove. It was released on Make You Move Records by it's Timmy P's label, no? Yeah.
That's the one.
know I get you know I get down you know I get you know I get down. You know I get down.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good. Turn that terrible noise off. Oh,
oh la la, what a banger.
sounds horrible.
It sounds horrible. No. It's a banger for the club. I bet people would play this and rock the crowd there, man.
I hope so.
If you don't bounce to that, then I don't know.
I hope it doesn't clear the dance floor.
Probably won't. All right. This is like the full...
This is the track. I haven't gone back to this since I sent it off for mastering. So let's move this around so I can see. As you can tell, I'm not the most organised of people.
I know from this week. I was really excited to see it.
Yeah, I told you. Like
works on Ableton 8. Doesn't give names to his track as much as he could. Uses colors. He's just like, but he bangs out banger after banger. So you know, if it works for you,
like everyone's different. Everyone's different. It's just finding a way that what you work and stuff and gets you there. But we will start from the beginning. Actually, maybe like if anyone's there and they want to know how some bit was done, it might be interesting to see if they want to see that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know a lot of people have asked me about like that. Oh, what's that vocal effect that you've done? I was like, oh, it's been done in 1,000,001 records before, but I've only recently, the last couple of years again, found out what it was, and it's this app that I use. It's brilliant. If you want to get that time stretch vocal, like in higher state of consciousness or so many like garage and jungle records, it's brilliant. It's
Akaizer.
So yeah, Akaizer. It just emulates it perfectly. You can do it in Ableton, but it's not quite right. But this makes you can see classic like there.
Man, I used to have one of those, the Akai S1100
950
or something. Yeah, no, the S1000. And the EX had they expanded, but that's like 40 for the 20 years ago. 25. Like great. These also sounded really nice though.
So I've got a drum loop.
Yep.
Filtered, compressed, heavy. Just take everything off so you can hear it all. So just using it for the tops. Just using that for the tops. Compressed heavily. That's the more to roughed up. Transient designer to take the width and then a bit of EQ, and it's just for a top loop. And then I think this is one snare that I sample all the time actually. Where is it? This is probably why you say, this is why you should name this stuff.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. It's really chunky.
I've got these windows in the way. I can't see where everything is.
The bass line, man.
And then that's a respace. It's just the classic respace sample from Terrorist Renegades. That's it's I think it was originally it's called a respace because it was on Reese Another Chance, which is Kevin Saunderson, who was in a city, and he was also E-Dancer and what was his other aliases? Reese, but he put a track out years ago called Another Chance, and it had the bass, like a wicked bass sound. And then Ray Keith, who recorded as Renegade, I think it is, sampled that and put it in Jungle. And it's this famous bass sound that you've heard. Yeah. It just sounds amazing. I love it.
It's such a nice sound. I also love these type of bass. Yeah.
It's just so that's like.
Yeah, it's nice.
Just playing on my keyboards, my computer keyboards, not like. And what's really cool is when you go from the lower to the high, which it does, it gets that again to create variation. Where are we? Oh, that changed it. What happened? What's going on now? Oh, I think that might be a different one I tried out. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so this is what I like as well, is because like there's so much stuff I try out when I'm creating and writing, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
and then you
thinking,
just
oh,
mute it. Yeah, you just mute it to keep it or so.
yeah, because then when then what I'll do is like I duplicate a lot and stuff. So then if I mess up, I go back and it's still there. It's the beauty of,
Yeah,
like I say,
yeah,
working digitally
yeah,
rather than working analog. In
yeah.
that everything's saved, everything's there. And there's loads of times I've gone back on stuff and like, oh, I can use that old that I never used in a new track.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I do it all the time. It's like, oh, that didn't work for them, but obviously maybe a starting point for another one.
Yeah, it could be a good idea for a new idea. That is good, yeah.
Yeah, so that vocal just.
Into sound.
I think Luke Van Dyke knows about this site as well, because I watched a tutorial thing with him and he mentioned it. So I'm like, oh yeah, he's used it as well. But just a cool sound, just again like a little, and with basic Ableton phase to give it a bit of movement.
Yeah.
And then just chopped up here.
Filter. Yeah.
So it gives it again. It's just that part. If I took the phaser off, phaser and filter, you can see here the movement. And then a
little delay in the end.
A quick send to a delay.
Yeah.
So again, even that, just to give it like without all the processing or like the kind of the extra effects. I mean, it's super subtle. Which, you know, it's okay and stuff, but when you add it all in, it gives it more movement and like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, movement's super important. Yeah, if there's no movement in life, life's boring. So also with music, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know yourself, it's like, it's how you take stuff to the next level. When you're a beginner, you like, and, you know, you have the basic elements, and they'll always be super important.
Yeah.
It's the automation that takes it, and you know, all of the kind of studio trickery that like people say once you've done it for enough time.
Yeah, you have these tricks top of mind. I really like this where you take it, suddenly there's this guy that gets down, you know. So in the middle of the track, there's I get down. There's a guy appearing, like going sailing. He gets down, and you're like, whoa, where did he come at? But he gets crazy, like down. And
build ups.
You know,
it's just classic ways of like creating build ups. And someone said to me recently what they've been listening to is like, I can hear a lot of like old Fatboy Slim like in your stuff that you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, like because I was thinking about like when there is actually that's what I said to you before is like all you're doing really in a day is like using sounds that you like. When you make music, you put in sounds or techniques that you like. It's again when you're creating tension. Like snare rolls are a classic one, but again that can be if it's every track. If there's a vocal. Loops, it just gets shorter. You know, just that part of it. So again, it's just hearing. If I do the full loop here, I might have chopped it. So yeah, so I just used the full time stretch one. So that's the full one, and it's just like right, okay, I like that part. Let's repeat it.
It's Jordan and his audio. Nice. It's super cool. And also it's something radical. In the middle of the track, suddenly there's this vocal, and that gives you the space to make a break of like a minute, half minute, and create a moment, and then drop back into whatever you had going on before, and it will make it hit harder again because you've been so out of the box, and then coming back to it like whoa, people go whoa, there's this bass line again, you know. It's this very smart way of arranging just to do something out of you. I find myself sometimes that I'm like sticking to what I have. I'm like, I don't know where to go with this track. Well, just delete everything, drop in a vocal, and create a moment. You know, it's that easy. Actually, this is a great reminder.
It doesn't have to be a vocal. It could be anything.
It could be anything, yeah.
But what I realise as well, if we're going back to arrangement, a lot of people struggle with arrangement. Like, especially when you're younger. Or again, everyone's got pros and cons. Some people are great at like beats, or whatever. But um, I noticed I follow a similar pattern to what Todd Terry and kind of Armand van Helden were doing, like back in the 90s. If you think of like the Armand van Helden remix of like say Spin Spin Sugar, like CJ
Hmm.
Bolland,
Yeah, yeah.
and also like Spin Spin Sugar, and what's the other one? Sugar is oh no, that's
Yeah, I
CJ
don't hear
Bolland,
so
Sugar is
much.
Sweeter, which is Sugar Daddy, oh, Sugar
Oh
Daddy,
yeah,
oh.
yeah, that one.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
so
think I
I
have that
follow
on
a very
vinyl
similar.
here. Yeah, on
Yeah,
the
I
Dance
love that
Train
song. I love
classics.
that
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so good.
yeah.
I mean, Arm van Helden, Tom Terry,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
absolute gods
But
and
that's
massive
the
inspirations.
technique, basically. That's the technique they use, especially Armand van Helden. It's so out there. It's so like non-conformative to whatever is out there already. And I think that's
Sure.
the key, just to do something radical or something, basically something weird. So like, hey, oh wow, what's going on here?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just as the classic, it's that bit, and I'm like, I thought, well, yeah, that'll sound cool if it gets closer. And like I said to you, you can tell I like hip hop, so I put a lot of hip hop stuff in my
Yeah.
like in my music.
And it works also great on the dance floor. It's such a
Yeah,
moment,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But even just there, it doesn't just like I've actually got a lot of stuff going on in here, like in the background. Obviously, the core thing is builds up, builds up, builds up. There's that's that time stretch one.
That's the Akai, classic Akai stuff.
Yeah, it's like to spin, spin, sugar,
Yeah, yeah,
or
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
sugar daddy.
Daddy,
Ba,
oh,
ba,
boom,
ba,
boom,
ba,
boom.
ba.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We should
good,
start a
so good.
band, man. We should start a band with only vocals, and then we
But
do only
but
classic house
again,
tracks.
it's been done, but it
Yeah,
works, and I
yeah,
like that
yeah,
sound. I like that. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
it, so
yeah.
I'm going to use it. The
This
problem,
used to take like 15 minutes on my old Akai sampler. That like
yeah,
like time stretching something. You put like these two things and you press OK, and then you had to wait. I could easily went down and grab some drinks, come back up, and then finally it would be done. And then it still was. If it wasn't good, you had to do it again.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's the cool
This is so
thing.
handy with the digital world, man, these
But
days.
yeah, so again, like, so again, the core thing is this vocal section, right? So I get down, does that. But if you listen behind it, just in this section alone, you've got that. So you've got a. Where is it? You've got a crash, classic
Yeah.
crash, twins it. You've also got like an airy kind of. I put them a lot in my stuff. A breathy vocal.
Ooh.
So it's not just the crash,
Yeah, it's also
which you
this
probably think I
gives.
used to crash with
Yeah,
reverb.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
again, why I said when I do it, if you see here, I do it a lot. I use it here, and then it builds up to here again. So
Yeah.
it's just reversed.
Yeah.
But again, it's not just the vocal is you've got more behind it.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. And then it reverses.
Another little crash there. Goes up here. And then that
Oh, the
what I told
string.
you about the classic string.
Yeah.
But also organ
Uh,
behind it as well.
Yeah. Ah,
So
cool.
it's not
Yeah.
I think it's this old organ plugin that I've got, but it's a demo.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just a sustained note. It's just to create tension.
Isn't that the track that Martin Dawson once made a track called In the City? Martin Dawson and there's a guy from Ardrey Kroon. They made a track called In the City. It sounds like the same Rhodes preset. Maybe therefore it was called In the City.
Well, it's just an organ. It's a classic
yeah.
organ. If I play it to you now, where is it?
Interesting.
Bang, bang, bang. No, hang on. Where are we going? All ins. I've got to turn it on.
Yeah. There we go.
So it's just take that.
Ooh. That's a nice. The VB3. I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's old. That's why.
Yeah. Nice.
But that
Yeah.
air's coming on because it's
Because
obviously
it's
the demo.
yeah,
So
demos run
yeah,
out.
but
Yeah.
it's just an organ because
Nice.
I was trying to think like what's in Morel's groove. I love the
Oh
organ in
yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds more like a real organ than the
Yeah.
M1
Ah,
organ.
Morel's Groove, such a classic.
Yeah, oh, I just
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, someone
Yeah.
played it again at a gig on the weekend. I'm like, yeah, it'll never
Yeah.
not sound good. It's
Yeah.
just, and that's what you want to make. You want to make stuff that like lasts forever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
You want to get
like,
that hook, man. That's maybe the hardest thing to get. You make a lot of records, but only a few will have this hook kind of like, wow, this is a trick,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
There's actually a track I play a lot of his that's on the B side to that no one knows about. It's called The Talk. It's really, really good. It's like it's a wicked 90s house, 90s
Also,
house,
George Morel, yeah.
90s house sounding one, but it's really, really good.
I should check it out.
But yeah, just to attention. And then we have the drums. Oh no, it's in the second bit. So yeah, just a part of that drum loop.
Yeah, that's a good drum loop, man.
It's again like I say, like
Sampled.
when you're using samples,
Yeah.
a lot of it is just having a good ear for it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's having a good ear for music anyway, but it's like I say for like hooks and stuff because you know yourself, you can play around with keys and you're playing around with your elements, but it's coming up with those riffs. Is like, oh, I like that one. Yeah, that's cool. We'll use that rather than however many takes you did, and that well, it just doesn't work for me. But it's not just that; it's the kick behind it as well to give it real punch.
Yeah.
Because I do that a lot when I'm DJing. When there's a breakdown, like if I've got something behind, because sometimes like crowds love like a build up and stuff, like and it's classic. But sometimes a lot of them, like if there's too many, they can kind of lose interest a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, like they dance to the beat, but it's like, oh, what do I do? And that. So sometimes I'll have a track playing underneath and then like, I'll put the kick drum in a bit. And even then, just to tease it in, like, so you've got actually like oh, okay, when's it coming?
Yeah.
So I've done it in quite a few of my tracks now.
Yeah.
Where... And it also kind of creates tension, like building up, because you've had such a break. Everyone's waiting for that kick to come in.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. Reverse. Into that. And then just all the elements, like.
I like the vocal.
What that one?
Yeah.
I think. Where is it?
Nice.
I mean, there's so much here that I've.
Yeah.
I purposely never take anything out. I do it on purpose because, like, if I'm ever stuck, or sometimes I go back and have a look and like, what haven't I used? What haven't I used? And like, see, because then, you know yourself. It depends. Like when you're doing music and stuff, it depends what you're into at the moment, what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Like you might have been at a gig and you heard this, or there's a song that's come out and you like really
Yeah.
like it, and you're like, oh, I might use something
something
similar.
like this. Yeah.
But here it is. I think this is it.
It's
so again,
chill. Yeah. It's such a nice sample to put in, like because it will add like this sort of drama to it, like it's perfect for adding some more sort of like I don't know driving vibe, and you don't even know what she's saying, but it's really really good. That easy, yeah. It's that easy sometimes. Just take a little snippet of a vocal, add that in. There you go. Did we lose you again? I lost your speech again. Can you say something?
Hello.
Oh yeah, you're back. Yeah.
I pressed mute by accident.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it's just playing around and like finding the bit that you want. Like as you can see, like it's not like massively there. It's just in the background. And something I've noticed again, going back to kind of not so much technical, but the producery side, which is the ideas and the kind of planning a track and what elements you need.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that when you're doing stuff that's more techno, even though this isn't techno, but when you're doing stuff that's more techno and more about driving and having that energy, it tends to be like one or two notes. It doesn't change much. But it has that drive to it, and more rhythmical than anything. So if you think about the stabs, if it was you'd always say that's more housey. Where if it's already that's more rhythmical.
Yeah.
That's if we use the full vocal,
gonna be a different track, you know.
Well, it's just gonna get you a different way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
so already that's
yeah,
more housey.
yeah,
I mean, I've got like, if I take all this off, and that's going more to like, that's more kind of soulfully and everything and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Whereas
And it's not
if
such a
we
strong
just,
sample actually as well. It's like really well sound designed in a way because I like yeah. It's a bit like okay, you know, it's a bit like it's really the sample pack from Loop Cloud with some soul samples. And now how you process it gives it sort of like a vibe,
it's
you know. This is really
yeah, sure. It's just like again, it's like if I again listening to a lot of records, and then as what I said to you before, I looked at about. I was interested in writing a book. Like, I just was randomly just writing a book, and they said that if you want to write a book, read a lot of records, and I'm like, oh, read a lot of records, read a lot of books.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
like, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather watch films than like watch a book. Like I
yeah,
do like
yeah,
reading, but I'm a massive film fan, so I'd rather do that. But
yeah.
I
Make a
love
movie.
music. I love music. I love
Yeah,
listening to records.
yeah,
So the more records you listen to,
yeah,
and the more kinds of stuff you listen to, the more like you say drum and bass, for instance. You don't like make drum and bass, but like,
yeah,
oh, I really like how they've done that in that. Maybe I can use that
yeah,
in my house music.
yeah,
And that's exactly how speed garage was invented, because Armand Van Helden took the time stretch vocal and took some like stuff and put it in house music, and he created speed garage through that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
speed garage seems to have quite a resurgence at the moment.
Mm,
But
yeah, yeah. MJ Cole's back.
yeah. But even like Interplanetary Criminal and the track he did with Eliza Rose, it's not full on speed garage because you need that woo and the
Mm,
respace and the warp stuff. But I mean, that was #1 in the UK for ages, and it was like the biggest track this summer, and it's
yeah,
super fast garagey. But
yeah.
but yeah. So
Nice,
if we take
nice.
the loop off, oh yeah, no, not the loop
Yay,
off. If we
yay.
find it's again, it's just started playing around and seeing bits that you like. Because if we did it, I'm like, okay, well, if we use more of that, it takes it now back to being more soulfully and more
Mm,
kind of funky, and what you'd maybe think, um, like you'd hear on, I don't know how to describe it, but what you'd hear like as in a funky version. Whereas if you want it more driving and more quote unquote techno,
yeah,
I know this isn't techno, but you know what I'm saying. If it's more driving, you'll just find that certain part that's just looped over and over, and it's just in the background. It's a vocal acting like say as a shaker or say as something more percussive than actually like a vocal that is going to be goes all over the place. Anyway,
yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's just really well done.
but
I
like I
like
say, it
that.
comes down to sample selection and just trying
Yeah,
out and hearing. But yeah, if you think about Double 99 Rip Groove, it's got like a little vocal behind it. It's doing exactly the same
yeah,
thing
yeah,
as
yeah,
what
yeah,
this is doing.
yeah,
Exactly the same sort of thing.
yeah. Rip Groove also a really classic one, eh?
What else have we got in here? It's just pretty standard, like drums. Really is a lot of the stuff is just, that's a nod to classic speed garage and jungle.
Yeah, a little phone.
It, that one, yeah. It's just like you can't do a jungle or a speed garage track without having that in. It's the law. You have to put it in now. I think if you don't put one in, you get arrested. So,
yeah, exactly. They come and
so
get you.
students, if you're making speed garage or jungle, you have to put a wheel up in there. Otherwise, the police come after you.
Hey, you wanna
Cool.
you wanna because the Sante remix that you did for it's gonna be on In Motion, you said, right?
Yeah, I only finished it last week, and you can hear it's not mixed and stuff
Yeah.
or anything yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be quite good on arrangement and making stuff more interesting.
Cool. All right, you load the project. I'll play a little bit to the people. There we go,
Yeah,
guys.
guys, I haven't mixed this yet. I literally
Yeah.
just finished it, so it's not going to sound the best quality, but you can hear the ideas. In
Okay,
it
guys,
stuff,
don't be too judgmental. It's not mixed yet, but the track's really nice. Here we go. Yes, nice track. Nice tune. It's a bit more minimalistic-y, less decimort.
Full on.
It's the other.
On,
it's the more chilled kind of Jordan, more like subtle Jordan Peak. And it's more Jordan. It's Jordan medium, not peak.
Extra medium.
Yeah.
No, I've been making like a lot of driving stuff, like a lot of like.
Yeah, really pumpy stuff. Yeah, chunky.
And, yeah, because I like playing like it. I like again, I like playing any kind of time. If you book me, I could do a warm up. Happily, could do a medium time up, but I'm kind of thinking, oh, what's going on? Oh yeah, I know why. But yeah, so I was just making a lot of faster stuff, and I was like, I'll make something fast, but I'll make it like a deeper, earlier record and like more groovy, like, you know. And like I say, I've done for this remix, I've done two, because they sent me the parts. I like Santi. I think he's wicked. I think he's really good. I love his music, and In Motion's a wicked label as well. And so I was like, yeah, I'll work with you guys. Yeah, cool. They sent me the parts, and I did one remix, and like I said, like I get stuff done quite quickly, just because I try and form the idea in my head how I want it to sound, what I need. Like I'm very think about it that way, and then I kind of know the track already, like how it's going to lay out and stuff.
Yeah.
So I finished that remix, and like, oh, that was quick, and I'm like, yeah, I get stuff done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
So I sent that to him, and it's like, oh, do you want to do another one? I was like, yeah, right. Why not? And I was like, oh, so everything's been quite tough now. Let's make a deeper thing. So I mean, this is 131, but it's
pretty fast though. Yeah, but it doesn't feel that fast
it's
though.
Fast, but it's deeper. So straight away, I was listening to in the car the other day, DJ Buck, Make It Hot, and you can probably hear now the influence in that.
Yeah, it doesn't ring
straight away. He's like, let's, and I was like,
check it out.
Tribal drums, just a bongo loop.
Yeah.
Where are we? Oh, it's actually two bongo drums. I sort of said about the carry drum, the kick drums.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Mac him. Dutch guy.
Don't sue me, Kerry Chandler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Kerry Chandler remix. Yeah.
No, it's just the kick drum. Like, oh no, what's going on? I hope this doesn't die. Another.
Oh yeah, it's a little
chopped up drum loop.
Yeah.
This would be cool actually to talk about arrangement and keeping things interesting. Because that organ riff, it's not just it's the organ riff.
Yeah.
So here there, like this is the first mini break. So like when I'm talking about arrangement as well, I'll give a tip to everyone that I kind of, again, everyone works differently. It's fun the way it works for you. But I always used to do it for years. I'd start from the beginning. So I'd start from the kick drum. I have all my bits I want. I put them there. Right now I'm going to arrange. I'm going to arrange for like 6 minutes or whatever. Now I've come to realize is make an amazing radio edit. Like, it's going to sound funny, but make a really good 3 or 4 minutes. And then just a minute of drums at the start and a minute of drums at the end. Yeah. That's it. So make a good interesting 3 or 4 minutes. And all you need then, some of the guys can mix in and some of the guys can mix out.
Yeah.
So that's like, rather than start, if you know, it's probably going to be similar and stuff, but
like that angle.
So we start off.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Make a good radio mix, radio edits.
Yeah. So that riff, we don't get it full, we get it teased. Where is it? Here we are. So the full organ riff, again, I've color coded them.
Yeah.
The full organ riff is here. But we don't get that until 2 minutes 15. When it first comes in, all you get is you get little bits of it.
Yeah, it's like little teasing, like, hey, this is coming.
Yeah. So rather than just like, here we go. That for like 8 minutes or 6 minutes or however long.
It's gotta be horrible.
Well, it's just a case of like using this and then putting it there and then like, okay, I'll take this bit out, take that about, little bits. And like I say, and now it's just, we start from the beginning. After that mini break, it's just kick and super low bass and some other little percussive elements.
Yeah.
And then we slowly build up from there, teasing the organ in. That vocal is one of the parts they sent, and I think I've just chopped it up loads because I think I was listening to lots of Apollonia at the time when I was making this, and so what kind of stuff do they have in there? Because I love them, I love what they play, and I'm like, well, what kind of they use vocal wise and stuff.
Yeah, so you're basically really listening analytically to stuff you listen to, like, hey, you're actually sitting next to the producer that you're listening to, sort of, and listening like what type of techniques you get from their track, and go like, hey, I can make something like this.
I've always worked that way. I've always worked that way. Like, I'm a very analytical person. Like, I can't help it. It's just how my brain works. In that, when I've got 2 releases this coming on Edible this year. And Eats Everything's label, which I'm super excited about. I love Eats Everything. I think he's wicked. I love Dan. And I went to see him at Fabric, and the whole time I was listening like to him play, I was listening like, what does he play? What's in it? And what would he like? Because you know yourself, it's like guys can chart your stuff, but what they actually really want is what they play out. Do you know what I mean and stuff? And so I'm listening to him, like, okay, he likes this song's got here, so that. So I had some bits already that I sent to him, and he liked them and stuff, but I made 2. One of them I made. It's called Just Another Peak Roller because it's just a rolling tech house track. But I sent it to him. He's like, "Oh, I really want that one." I was like, "Funny enough, that's actually really inspired by like this is what the record I've made from listening to you. What you play, I've made this purposely for you. Like that is wicked. Cheers, thanks."
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you seem to be really good at that, which is nice. I know some people.
Well, again, like I say, when you're sending stuff to labels, if you want to get signed, if you're a house producer but you're putting stuff in, there's so many subgenres and so many sounds and so many ways you can take it. But if you're sending it to them, and unless you kind of like know them and stuff, if it's not their kind of sound, then you're not going to put it out really, like more than likely. But I love what Apollonia play, and I was like, what kind of vocals? Like, okay, we'll do this with it.
It's interesting how you can morph into all these different sounds. It's nice.
There's like that other bit is just I think it's actually, yeah. So it's actually it says Vox Scat. I think it's just like a scat sample.
Yeah.
Like a that's literally what it is.
Yeah, that's scatting. There you go. You missed you man. If everything fails, Jordan Peak, the scat man. Jordan Peak's the new scat man of the.
Give it a minute. Don't dip. I dare you to make a remix of that. That'd be amazing. I'm waiting for like the tech house remix of Scatman and Skip it a minute.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. If you're listening, guys, at home.
It's just frequent, like it's
just filling up the spectrum nicely, like in the background, pum pum. It's like the other vocal as well, like what you did. Yeah.
And again, what I said, it's more rhythmical.
Man, you make me want to make music tonight. Like I really want to build a groove.
I think there's automation on the delays, and there's definitely.
I love that fill, man. It's always hard to find a good fill. Do you have any tips on finding good fills?
search and listen. That's it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think
But
this is
it's
just a feel sample.
man,
Like,
yeah.
I think it
It's
really
hard
is.
to find a good feel, man. It's like always when I find a feel, then that one doesn't fit. That one doesn't fit.
Oh,
Then I
there's
make
another
myself.
there's a
and it's
little
always get stuck.
ever so slightly Jordan reverse reverb. I put it in so much stuff.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
just
yeah, I
works.
use that a lot as well. I really like it. It's easy to fill up, and it's organic, you know. Yeah, that fill, man.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
one
like
thing,
it.
one thing on the. Oh yeah, there it is. Jazz fills, man. Well, you need to use more jazz fills, guys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. It's like, again, what did I say to you? Is like, if there's nothing wrong with using sample packs, like, but if that's all you ever use, then and that's what, again, you buy it, you get it, you put it in there. There's nothing wrong. They're literally there. Like, if you go back to the real world and real musicians, because we're obviously not real musicians, but you have session musicians. So you'll have, like, say, Adele come in, and she's a singer, but we need like a cello on this, or we need like a string section. So we're gonna pay them, and they're
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
a human sample pack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, but yeah,
there's
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
that's what it is. But again, it's like, if you listen to music, and you listen to different types and stuff, and it's like, what is dub techno? Dub comes from dub reggae.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's the emphasis on that, and it's the chords and
And the
understanding
delay,
it,
it's
using your
the
echo
dub delay
and your
that
reverb.
makes it.
Thinking of the echo
Yeah.
and the delay and the
Yeah,
reverb,
reverb,
as an
yeah,
instrument
yeah,
rather than
yeah.
just as an effect.
Yeah,
Jazz, you get lots of cool drum fills. But
Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
it's from a, you know.
yeah. It's a good pack. It's a good.
I don't
And it
know,
really
simple.
fits the track as well. I remember there was a tech house time where everybody put in these type of drum fills as well, back in the tech house days, you know.
Well, it's still tech house now, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but it's more housey tech house at the moment or so. I don't know, man. All these fucking names. Yeah, I really like the groove. It's so more sophisticated. It's funny because the other tracks you have like more pumpy and all like distorted, and this is like more like subtle, Jordan.
Well, I wanted to make something, again, it's like, I like making a lot of stuff, and I like playing a lot of stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, if I put rules on myself a lot as well. Is if I notice that I'm doing like a certain technique loads or like a lot, I'm like, right, I give myself 2 or 3 tracks that I'm making, and I'm not doing it again for this next track, because I purposely don't want. You can tell it's me, maybe because of like the way it builds or certain things, but I don't want it to be like every track it's got the get down, or put your hands up, or take it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want
like
every
all
track
it's
to have
like
the same
everything has the
stuff
same
in.
formula. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Nice.
there we are. Sorry, I'll turn my headphones off for some reason.
No worries.
Yeah, so this is basically it. Again, it's just decent groove. The organ is the hook, is the main riff.
Yeah.
Some
and this
auxiliary
doesn't-
effects in it. Background bits. Chopped up. Just a shaker comes in now. It's a shaker song. It depends on what you want. Like I said, there's a different texture you get if you program a shaker in versus if you use a shaker sample. It all depends on the texture you want. Like, if you want it to sound a certain way, you get a sample, or
Yeah, it's also all in the end. What you say, it's all sound selection. Everything should. Yeah. Hey, and maybe.
So here we go. They have these as well.
Is that the Lounge Lizard? I love the Lounge Lizard.
That's the one. Just a nice little Rhodes.
Yeah, love the Lounge Lizard for that.
Been doing this a lot recently as well, actually. In my breakdowns, I have the sub bass.
That's nice.
It's not a sub bass, but
It keeps the energy.
And then that's the track, basically. It's just and again, another like Groove.
Yeah, well, it's super nice, man. I really like enjoy the track. Hey, it's we're 1.5 hours in. Maybe it's time to open up the chat for some questions.
Sure.
Guys, sorry if I haven't been sharing your comments on the screen. I've been trying, but something is wrong with my featured chat thing, so I couldn't load up the comments. But it's nice you're all here from the UK and wherever you're from. Yeah, ask your questions. You have a question for Jordan, production wise, or maybe about his music, or about about his life. I don't know. Feel free to drop something. And yeah, Jordan, how is it? Is this have you done more of this stuff, like sharing knowledge like this? Have you ever been doing a master class or like a session somewhere at a school? Never.
No, never.
Yeah.
Like I've never had like the opportunity, or I'll always talk to people, and like I'll always share if they ask me anything. I'm always happy to help out, like in ways, because again, I remember what it was like when I was like first starting. It's so daunting,
Yeah.
like, and I mean it still is. It's like it's never not daunting,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think if you're like a true music lover and stuff, it's like I can't help it. If I find, I think it's why I like a DJ as well. It's because if I find records I really like, or a song I'm like, oh, have you heard this? Have you heard this? Like this is so good. Like, you know, um, and yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in doing it and stuff. But no, it's a very first time, very first
Yeah,
time.
cool. Well, it's good. It's nice. It's you have like lots of cool insights. I think today I've seen a lot of cool stuff. I also the thing I like the most. Also, I use that a lot as well to record something and record that reverb and make sort of like a riser or like an effects from this,
Resampling,
because it's it's
resampling.
organic.
Yeah,
It's something that you create from an element that you already have. And yeah,
yeah,
it actually today reminded me a lot, like also how you treat this vocal again in this track. You've create just with using the warp functions and the different warping modes is to create something eccentric from some samples. And that's that's nice to see, that sometimes people make it really complex in how they approach making music. And you just showed today like how simple the approach can be, but still create big tracks and a lot of different types of tracks. So that's really nice to see.
I actually I had a gig in Cyprus like a while ago, and I stayed at a friend's, and he's like, I was showing him some bits and that. He went, "So you really go nitty gritty?" I was like, "To me, that's basic. That's nothing like much." Because again, it's like I've always known that the tracks may sound basic. It may be like, say, just a basic groove, but the best ones they change up a bit, or they have stuff that makes them stand out for some reason.
Yeah.
And when you're first, and if you can't hear it and stuff, like maybe you just because you need to train your ears, and you need to if you're making music. I look at it this way: it's like if you're making music, you're going to be a fan. Obviously, you're going to like love it, but you need to listen to music in a different way than just I like that. That's bad. Do you know what I mean? Or I don't like that. You need to listen to it, and you'd be like, well, how was that made? What was it made? What elements work for me? What could I? Do you know what I mean? That's how I've always done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, say for instance, with a lot of the floor plan stuff, that's coming out at the moment,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're calling it like disco techno.
Yeah.
Whereas like that's been around before. It was if you remember like Dave Clark in the 90s, he did like the Goodfellas remix and he did some stuff on Skin.
Yeah.
And but there's like a real resurgence of it at the moment, and it's the drums are heavy again like techno, and it's very loopy, like
Hmm.
so it's disco techno.
Yeah.
If it was like a longer loop and the drums weren't as heavy, you'd probably say, oh, it's filter
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
certain texture, you change it slightly and it
Yeah.
becomes disco techno.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
So
interesting how these things come back as well, right?
yeah,
Like over the
yeah,
years,
yeah.
we went super melodic now, so it might go a little bit more, yeah, a bit more techno-y. All right.
Is there anything from this you'd like to know? Because from this track at all, it's more even just like again freezing it to save CPU.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
stuff like
The
if this
launch
was
lizard is a nice plugin, though. I used to use it a lot, but applied acoustics, right? I haven't used it for many years actually. It's a good
I think this is the first time I've ever actually properly
such a
used it.
nice road.
Like, even just began because I was listening to DJ Buck make it hot, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I
I
have to
really
check
want
that
to
out.
make something like that. But
Yeah.
You know, because I was chatting with someone the other day, and I was like, oh, do you know what I'd really love to come back is that old West Coast sound, like H Foundation and
Mm.
like Halo and Hippie and all those kind of. Well, it is H Foundation.
I bet you will
But
rock that because you can do any sound if I can hear it. You know, it's funny.
but I like to play. I like to play all over the style,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
from house and that. Because otherwise, to me, it's just like, you know.
yeah.
And there's
Let's
so
just
much good.
flat.
There's so much good
Yeah,
stuff. There's so much
yeah,
good stuff.
yeah. I get bored a lot if I make the same thing. Yeah, you know, no, there's no guys. Is my chat not working or are there no questions? Let me test the chat. If my chat's not working, I don't know if anybody has questions. There's still some people online, but they're not talking to us. They're like, oh, let these guys just talk on.
Again, just super basic drums, like the hits I've put in. It's like it's normally a combination of loops and hits. That sometimes like that all I want is bass mental one. Well, there's two versions, but that's just hits that I've programmed because it's a certain way I want it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want it to sound electro-y,
Yeah,
or it's how I want it in my head, I knew that, and I was so well that is just going to be hits programmed, and I can do that. But again, if you're wanting some bongos in, unless you're going to get your bongos out and record them in,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
play
yeah.
them, it's a different like.
Hey, and how you don't use any swing on the shakers there? It's just it's just like
Oh
very
no,
straight.
these don't have
No.
swinging it. It's
But oh yeah, there you go. You got the
it's
MPC
not
swing.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the swing there. Yeah, nice. I was like, hey, how do you get that swing? Well, it doesn't look swing, but
That's
there's a
this.
swing.
I've got two shakers. I've got a programmed shaker here,
Yeah,
and there's a shaker sample as well.
yeah,
But what you'd normally have is like the offbeat hi-hat. I think I've got of an offbeat. So again, it's just getting a certain texture. Like
yeah, yeah. It's well
It's so
chosen
subtle,
samples.
but-
Yeah, it's like very very solid little groove. It's nice.
yeah, I still need to mix this down actually.
Yeah. And what is your mix down?
This is a mega exclusive preview.
Hey, and what?
then
Oh,
sorry.
Nice.
This is the sub bass. It's the same riff
with the
as
sting.
the
Yeah.
again. It just goes so together.
So can I think that you started with the Skinner box and then took the MIDI from the Skinner box and made the organ with it?
This is what I saw in Luke Van Dyke's tutorial. I saw that. I'm like, oh, actually, that's really good. But
Yeah.
this is actually an interesting thing about AI and stuff, and that is that like I found a pattern in it that I thought was quite decent, and I was like, that's cool, but it's not quite there. It's not like, do you know what I mean? And like, you know, I was like, it needs a tweak. So, yeah, for those that don't know, I saw this in Luke Van Dyke's. I think it's for Mix Tank. He did it. But again, like, I love Luke's music. I think he's wicked. I've got some stuff coming on his label as well. Like, thank you,
cool.
Luke.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
But I saw this and I'm like, oh, that's another useful tool to have. What this does is it just generates MIDI patterns.
Yeah.
So again, it's like it will send it to here. But the cool thing then is like you can record that MIDI information.
Yeah.
And then you can edit it yourself if you want to. So there was a pattern that came up that was like, that's quite cool, but it's not right there. So I recorded it and then added like a few and moved one around. I'm like, yeah, there's the riff. But again, like it's just there. It's not on because it's not running it now. So
But it's a nice little riff. Boom, boom.
but this is just I couldn't tell you what key this is. I'm not great at I just go by that sounds cool. I like that.
Yeah. Hey, and so you used to swing on the bass as well. Yeah.
If I take I mean it's super simple at the moment.
Yeah.
I still need to fully mix it. So there might be there's compression, there'll be like maybe a bit of saturation, some bit more EQing, but for a sub bass, literally all you're doing is pretty much
filtered eyes,
cutting at 100, 150 down.
Yeah.
Because even that's got a nice characteristic, like to that. If I left this open here and played it with the organ, because it's all right, but that's, you know yourself, is like you have the frequency spectrum of where your stuff sits. And as I've got better and like older and like done it like loads more, I just my mixing's again anything it gets better. But a lot of this stuff, the action happens. The main action is like that low end and low mid.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of the real core and the cool stuff of the track is because even this is an organ, but it's like really low.
It's pretty
It's still like a
lowish,
bass.
yeah.
It's a bass riff.
Dun,
Because
dun,
again,
dun.
like I
It's
realized,
like a
yeah, it's a
high
bass.
bass. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's still. But yeah, so you look,
Still
it's C2,
C2.
so it's
Yeah,
acting
yeah,
like a
yeah,
bass
yeah,
line. It's in the
yeah.
organ. If we put it up an octave, if you guys don't know, again, learn your shortcuts. It speeds everything up. Apple A to select all. Shift and up pushes it up an octave. Well, because we're now in the M1 house split on that preset. If you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
too
but you
high,
can
it
also hear the
changes it.
organ is like an octave
But
higher. Do, do, do.
super low. Actually, no. Forget what I said. It's
Yeah,
like
but
it is acting like a riff. But yeah, you're just clearing the space through. Like
yeah,
so, that's cut at the higher end, the higher harmonics.
yeah.
This here is cut just for the sub and the lower harmonics. So everything has space and room to breathe, because otherwise the bad mixes come when things start crashing and things start clashing. And a sub bass is 150 and below, and then you have mid bass, which is 150 to sort of 300,
Mm-hmm.
and you get the combination between there, like, and that's when that bass. But if you only have the high element, like that's cool and stuff. But it's when you have the sub with it,
Underneath, yeah,
they're
yeah,
like, that's the combination, that's the magic, like, so to
yeah,
speak.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you need both. Like to
Yeah.
have a really cool, like, effective bass line, you really, really want both.
Feel the full spectrum to give it that
Yeah,
fullness and richness. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Well, that was a really clear story,
That's the
man.
tune. That's the tune, basically.
Yeah.
That's the remix. Is this another, like, just a hi-hat? Like, I think. Oh yeah, just some live hi-hats. Actual
Yeah,
real
some
ones.
actions. Nice. It's such a nice groove, man. I can listen to it all night. All right,
Yeah,
so let me give it one more shot because there's still 19 people watching. I don't know if my chat's broken or that nobody's saying anything.
No one wants to know. No one wants to speak to me.
Hey
That's
guys,
fine.
if you're online, send us a little message, please. And if you want, send a question. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay, Junior is online. Hey, my student, Mr. Curtis from Chicago. He's here. He says no questions for me. That's perfect. It means you've been totally clear, Mr. Peak. You've been.
I hope so. And shout out to Chicago. I love it.
Yeah, Chicago, man.
Thank you for house music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's cold there now, man.
Without Chicago, none of us would be here, would we? So.
Oh, there's also some people now. I said there was 19 people. Then I said, "Hey, ask your questions." So they think they know we're gonna wrap up, and then they're like, "Oh, then 7 people left." Just looking and not engaging at all. Oh, guys. Well, it's free TV for y'all. So,
it is, man. It's no
yeah,
problem.
man. People just enjoy as much as you want. I hope this was insightful. For me, it was. I wrote down quite a lot of stuff, actually.
Dude,
yeah.
we didn't even get into the third track.
Yeah.
I'm such a fucking chatterbox.
It's okay,
so
this happens a lot. Also, like the one with Coulter was also like, I think till 10 o'clock. That's the longest that we've done. But
Jesus.
also it's good for us to move a little bit, and I still need to eat. Actually, I need to make a soup. I'm gonna make a nice soup tonight, man.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
before we're gonna wrap this up, I want to ask you. Lowhouse, Nick, my
Lowhouse.
friend Nick Robinson. He says that he hasn't got any questions. He found it really insightful. That's so nice. Hey,
Thank you. I hope you found it useful. Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, even if it, like I say, it's from a workflow perspective, or just even not just listening to music, but listen to it and think what's been used to it. How do we get that sound and stuff? I mean, that's super techno. It comes with it, but then also again, you've got to combine that with like, oh, that's a melody. That's a nice riff, and like I can use that. I can use this, and then when it comes to arrangement, because I knew that this track is going to be super simple. Do you know what I mean? It's super groovy, but I was like, well, I need to keep that organ interesting. I need to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the other tracks. The other track I showed you is very high energy.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's
that's a
high
different
energy,
way.
but
Yeah,
this stuff, if it was this riff, I mean, you're like, oh, it's a cool groove, but if the organ was just that,
all the time. Yeah.
for 1 minute, 2 minute. If it was just that for 3 minutes, I mean, I know there's minimal, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, and it's like,
Yeah.
but that's just boring. That's not
Yeah.
minimal. That's
Yeah.
boring. If
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
this for 3 minutes,
Yeah.
so I knew as well, like, okay,
Yeah.
copy that, tease it here, so it's the sound. So you got, that's like arrangement and stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody's asking, what version of Ableton is this? Throwback to 1995. Well, it's not that old. It's the Ableton 8, right? Ableton 8
no,
was...
it's Ableton 0.
yeah. It's Ableton 0. It's Ableton -1. Yeah.
It's Ableton, it's Ableton
Yeah.
8. But I mean, like, there's a guy that I really like called Pete Cannon,
Mm-hmm.
and he makes amazing jungle music, like jungle. There's I like a lot of stuff, and again, I might not make. I've made one track just for myself and stuff, but
Yeah.
probably won't ever release it. But it's always good to learn to see what people use and how they do it, because it's not what you have, it's what you do with it.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
he's, again, how many people like, oh, I've got a real 909, a real this and real that. Again, how old's a 909?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
old is that?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's a machine at the end of that. Computer's a machine, and 909's a
Exactly.
machine.
Exactly. It's
So
all how
it's
you
like,
use the machine.
yeah.
You know? It's all
I
how
had
you use the machine.
do you know Jeremy Underground? Remember the label My Love Is Underground? Do you
Yeah, yeah,
remember that at
definitely.
all?
Yeah.
Jeremy from it, he told me the story about Kerry Chandler. He said he went to see him at DC10 and play for Circa Loco.
Yeah.
And like Jeremy's like a proper music fan. He's like a proper music head. He knows his stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he can hear, like, he's like me. He'll hear like 4-bit up. That's that track. And like, how do you know? It's like,
Ah,
because he loves it and he knows it.
Nice. Yeah, I got
But
some of his records. Yeah.
he said he was chatting to Kerry, and he was in the booth dancing, like, you know what I mean? And he knew like all the songs. And then there was only one song though, and it went off. Like he said, it just went down really well. But he didn't know what it was. And he asked him after and said, "Oh, Kerry, what was that?" And Kerry goes like, "Oh yeah, it's just like, it's a track I just made on my iPhone, just like playing around while I was waiting." So
There you go.
it's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's not what you have, it's who you are and what you use with it.
Yeah. And
You
what?
don't need
Yeah.
you don't need the most expensive gear. You just need stuff you know how to get the sounds out of.
Yeah, that's like nailed it. I think that's very key, and that's also why I do these shows, to show like
Yeah.
how different people work. You got some people work in Ableton 8, some people work only hardware, some people
One
work
person works in Ableton 8, me.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, but there's this like, and some people work only samples or mostly samples. Some people say, no, I never use loops. They're like, they have a loop phobia, whatever. There's like lots of people, but as long as the belief systems that you put in your own mind work for you to be productive and to make the stuff you love and to be proud of it,
Yeah.
I think that's all that matters. And as long as you're having fun, all the rest is just whatever you want it to be.
I
That's
think
it.
again, it just goes back to knowing the sound that you want. I mean, if you know how to get there, then straight away you do it. But there's certain sounds you get from using loops, and like, but even if you cut them up and whatever and stuff, but there's certain sounds. If you say you play a chord like on a synth, but you want it to change, like you different melodies, it's going to sound a certain way. If you do the classic rave thing of bouncing that towards you and then play it in a sampler,
Yeah.
it's gonna sound a bit different, and it
Yeah.
gives it that sound.
Yeah.
It's knowing, but I said it's knowing how to get
It's
there.
the limitation.
There's
Yeah.
a really good set of videos. Like, anyone that says sampling is an art form, like, doesn't fucking know sampling. Like, there's copying and stealing, and then
Oh, yeah,
there's
like
sampling.
everything is a remix, you mean?
Yeah, no. But even then, like, there's copying and there's copying and stealing, and then there's sampling. Sampling. The chord, like, the videos come out like quite recently, but it was Kevin Saunderson, and he was talking about the Good Life in a City. The dun, dun,
Oh, yeah, that
that's
stab.
insomnia. But yeah, that chord dun 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 dun. That's a synth shot right at the end of a record called Let's Get Brutal by Nitro Deluxe.
Yeah.
And he said he found that and he just put it in and played that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, that's sampling. That's not stealing. He's taken that and he's used that sound to create a whole iconic
Like a new
riff.
starting
And like I said
point.
to you,
Yeah.
he used that sound for Good Life and he used it for Big Fun as well.
Yeah.
But there's a guy on YouTube called Jim Pavlov, and he's recreated a couple of Prodigy tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
And
that one. Yeah.
He's done it to a T. Like, you can't
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
But you can see they're all drum breaks, and it's all
Yeah.
like, say, taking from Nirvana. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
He
that. But then it's
nails it.
also,
He nails it with
but
the
it's also,
analog doing the acid line, like
yeah,
from
yeah,
like he does it, and all using Ableton plugin, stock plugin. And Ableton, I think that was Ableton 5 or 6 even. Well, I don't know, or 8.
yeah.
8 I don't know.
But
Yeah.
all I'm saying is not the fact like not to get over the Ableton version, but it's just the fact that it was a sample. Like I
Yeah.
wanted that sound of a guitar, electric guitar. I
Yeah.
can't play electric guitar,
Uh,
so I'll use this hit. And even again, you can hear the difference when you hear the full riff. It sounds like rock, but because it's that dun-dun-dum, dun-dun-dum, dun-dun-dum,
yeah.
dun-dun-dum,
Yeah. Yeah.
dun-dun-dum, dun-dun-dum,
Yeah.
it's what I
Yeah.
did with that vocal,
Yeah, how
but
you
it's with a
edit,
guitar.
he copies the bass over,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You've seen him do it.
But it's
Yeah,
you can never stop learning. You can never stop
yeah,
learning, and it
yeah,
might not be say the music that you want to make when you watch other people, but
yeah,
you know people are good for a reason and whatever. But
yeah.
watch them, see what they do. Again,
Take
this
the
comes from
techniques.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
Watch, see what they do, and then like,
yeah,
is there anything I can do but the sounds that I want, or
yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
that's what I
Be
think
like
anyway.
water. You know, that's well, that nails it right there. All right,
Awesome.
before we're gonna wrap this up, I want to ask you, Jordan. Is there anything you'd like to plug? So we know that there's a remix of Sante for
There's
Sante is
lots.
gonna come
There's
out.
lots coming out.
What can you share, and what do you want to
I
share? Where can we
have
see you play?
right,
And throw it all
at
out
the
there.
moment. At the moment, I have a release out on Javi Bora's label, Too Many Rules, called Alive at Night,
Mhm.
which is cool. Again, it's like one's like a old rave track and one's kind of electro-y. Um, I've just been experimenting a bit, but I'm gonna stick to kind of house and techno, like housey bits from now on. But or tech house, whatever. But the next thing got coming out, it's gonna be end of February, end of this month. It's the next release on my label, Peak Tracks. Um, so it's Peak Tracks 2.
Oh, nice.
It's got a hook I've actually wrote for a girl, Jodie Page. She's wicked. It's just like a kind of spoken word rap kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's really good. I got a video. I played it this weekend at a gig. It went off really, really well. And people, oh, what's that? And it's really funny. You know, someone's kind of catchy because there was a couple of girls in the front row, like next to the booth, and they were trying to sing it, the hook, like they knew it already.
Oh, yeah,
So you know,
yeah.
because like, yeah, do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So
Ah,
because
good.
again,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to do it because I'm just going to tell you about it. But after the first, the hook went round once, they went round to the second time, and then like a couple of girls like, I need you, buzz," and all that, and then I was like, you're trying to sing it like you know it, like oh, so you think you've heard this before? So I like so it must be quite memorable. Hopefully, like we'll
Nice.
see.
I
But
look forward to seeing that drop. Yeah, I like the Peak Tracks 1, like with the
oh, cool,
three. Yeah,
cool.
yeah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Peak Tracks O2 is out end of February. So that's 3 tracks. That's like one minimal tech housey, one house, and then one like techno.
Yeah, so as
Uh,
diverse as the first one as well. Like, nice. I
no,
like
it's
that.
not
Yeah.
it's not as diverse as the first one. The
Okay.
first one was like a tester, like do you know what I mean and stuff. But
Yeah.
because the first one was completely different genres. But from now on, I'm just sticking to like house and techno and stuff and everything like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, because I was still trying to find my feet. Do you know what I mean? We're coming back and stuff and like kind
Yeah.
of where I want to go. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean. But yeah, so I've got that one out, Peak Tracks O2. So it's just, and then in March I've got a track out on Denson Peaker's label, Needed Pains,
Mhm.
which has got me doing vocals, and it's
Oh.
like a very Dance Mania kind of ghetto-y one with me doing vocals, but you can't tell it's me. It's like Detroit Grand Poobah's Sandwiches, like which is like a really high-pitched vocal,
I
and Daft Punk
think
did
I
the same
saw
thing
an yeah, 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 yeah.
on Robot Rock. So it's me
Oh,
writing it, but you can't tell it's me.
yeah,
Like so, but yes,
cool.
I've got lots coming out.
Yeah,
I'm just super excited to be doing music again after having to stop for like health reasons. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like I had a lot happen to me in a really short time period,
yeah.
and for a long time I thought I'd never do music again. And
Wow.
like for a lot, I just did. Yeah, I went through a lot. Like um, but I'm just super happy to be doing it again, and I can't wait for all my music to come out. And super happy to be talking to awesome people like you.
Yeah, well,
And you know,
thank you, sir. And it's also really good to have you back. And I can speak for many people. And I think it's good for house music that you're back. And I can't wait for everything to drop. I'm sure there's going to be way more, and all good things may come to you, sir. Like the amount of passion that you have for doing
thank you
this,
so much.
and the talent as well. I'm glad you're back. As I said already before, I've been a massive fan back then. I was always wondering who
Oh,
Jordan Peak is, and look who I've got in my show.
me!
Jordan.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I remember like back in the day playing those tuba tracks, and I was such a big fan of tuba. And yeah, you were on it,
Yeah.
and One Records, like Adam Shelton, One Records. I remember
Yeah,
all these, and
Suban.
you were on all these labels, man. And then suddenly you were gone. I didn't even realize that you were
Yeah.
gone until when I saw the release on the Timmy P's label. I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
what is he still? And
Yeah.
then then the whole thing. I'm
So,
like,
so
oh
what
fuck.
happened? What happened? Like, we go into it briefly and stuff. I don't mind talking about it again, but I don't like, you don't want to keep everyone like, and they probably won't not interested. But I've got a lung disease, called cystic fibrosis, and I had a massive scare with that, where I caught an infection. Whereas if the doctors couldn't get rid of it,
Yeah.
they said like that's probably like 2 years to live. Do you know what I mean and stuff?
Wow. Fuck.
So it's like, um, that like obviously super depressed from that and stuff. They managed to get rid of it. So got out of hospital on a Friday. They managed to get rid of it, but I was still kind of like down from like hearing that I can be like, catch an infection like that, whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I got out of hospital on a Friday. I had a gig in Newcastle, top of like, north of England on the Saturday, and I got spiked with like GHB, like this drug that I found out, and like it's never heard about it before. And like from that moment on, like because what happened is like all of a sudden, like I was in a DJ booth and stuff after I finished playing. Like I took my drink, I was like, oh, well, how much vodka's in that? But I just couldn't walk, like I couldn't move, like I just collapsed in on myself, and I tried to
Wow.
speak and I couldn't speak, and
Yeah.
like and it was really weird. And I
Scary,
blacked
man.
out and like
Yeah.
things and stuff like that, and it just after that I actually got scared to go into nightclubs like for a
Yeah.
lot of parties just because I'm thinking I'm going to get spiked all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I just struggled with like anxiety and depression for like a long time because like music was always a massive passion to me.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I'd be at a club and I'd be DJ and I'd just be like non-stop panicking, like, and I'd have these like weird out of body like feelings and stuff, and
Ah.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, no, it was really bad,
It's a
man. I
little bit
thought it
of
was like
trauma
losing
that.
control.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah, all
Thank you.
because all because
Yeah.
because because I got it into my head that every time I go to a club, I'm going to get spiked now. And
Mm.
after having a week where I found out I might only have like 2 years to live and like things like that and stuff, and
Yeah.
whatever.
Some
But
sort of trigger.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
that was literally like in 2 days that happened to me. Like, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Too late. So, I always put as well, like I put a lot of thought and meaning into my music and stuff, like with track names and stuff. And if you look at it, the very last release that came out before I took the break,
Yeah.
it's called Routine Anxiety
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was routine for me. It would be like every gig, every weekend. I did it for like 4 or 5 months, where I just non-stop panic attacks. After I finished the gig, go back to hotel, cry because I just felt like I was like I was just losing control and stuff. And
Wow. Yeah. You
I
just.
needed to take
Yeah.
I needed to take the time off to sort my head out and like to get over it and understand. Okay, I'm not going crazy and that it is. I understand it and everything.
Yeah, it's just a horrible
But
experience that somebody like drugged you like without you knowing, and that you
yeah,
got this, and your brain probably linked that experience every time you
yeah,
enter a club. It would be like triggering the trauma or the
yeah.
anxiety that you felt that night, and that can be really hard to shake off. Probably like a
Yeah.
few years, but you didn't stop making music in between. Like you were still
No, I
doing.
did. No, I completely
Yeah.
stopped.
Oh
No, I
wow.
completely stopped. I completely stopped for a long time just because, again, like I thought I was done. Like again, and I kind of was for like about for a while. Um, just because I thought, okay, well that's it. But it just took time to get over it and like go
Mm.
to therapy and understand that it is anxiety. And when you're stressed and when you're worried, like I said this to you, everything, like your brain is everything that you are.
Yeah.
My arm's moving, but my brain is telling my arm to move,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like a combination of that. So mental health, I completely understand about it. Whatever it is, whatever that set you off that way.
Yeah.
I mean, this year alone, like sadly, I've lost two friends to suicide.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? And like, if I didn't, I'm not saying that because I don't want to get too heavy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've lost two friends to suicide, and like it's
Wow.
important. If you're struggling, there's always help and stuff. But I had to stop because I had to sort my head out.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. I'm just super happy to be doing it all again and making music. And
Yeah, you
like I
seem to
say,
be
I'm
in a
like,
really good
yeah.
place now, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. It's not easy sharing these things, and
No,
it's
I don't mind. I don't
but
mind because,
it's
like I
good.
said,
I think
like
it can help
I
other people.
think I think it's important to talk about these things. Like,
Yeah,
I think it really is because you can tell. Like I said, I was releasing a lot. I was touring a lot, and then what happened? Why did he just stop? Why, like, I mean, not that I was like a huge name or anything, but
Yeah.
like, what happened to me? Like,
Yeah.
and like I said, like, if you look at the very last release and the break, like, routine anxiety, and like, I
Yeah.
kind of like, well, I'm telling you, kind of why.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just happy to be doing it again, man.
Yeah.
And
It's
I can't wait for all this stuff to come out and non-stop making music again.
yeah.
And
Good to have you
for
back.
me,
Only fix the iCloud thing, and you're really back. And get an upgrade to
I know,
Ableton.
or maybe like update to Ableton 9.
Yeah,
Like, and then watch the music then. Like,
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah, I can imagine. No, but
he's
this has
making new
been
genres every day.
this has been such a pleasure, Jordan. I really enjoyed. I hope everybody enjoyed as well. Next week we're gonna be back as well, and you're all very welcome to tune in next week again, and find all the previous episodes on the YouTube of Lessons in Life. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, or if you have any suggestions for the next guest, feel free to hit the Instagram and just drop that. And
get Daft Punk as the next guest.
that would be wicked. Are they still there without helmets or with helmets? Then I don't know. If that's
I don't care. Just get them on.
I would love to get. If we talk sampling, then that would be a cool one. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We're going to go offline and we'll chat soon.